either almost or over 200 pairs together.
Do you know where he keeps them all and like what he does with them?
Thousands of pairs, thousands of Major League Baseball players. My brain just went into business mode, selling for like $5,000, $10,000.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here with sneaker artist Anthony DeLucia.
What's going on, everybody?
If you're not familiar with Anthony, on our channel, he's been featured in content like sneaker shopping with Max Clark and Ty Pete, with more on the way, and our cleat designing series, The Shoe Print.
If you haven't watched The Shoe Print yet, make sure to check them out after this video.
We're gonna be diving into what made Anthony one of the biggest designers in the game, the evolution of custom cleats, and who has the best cleat game in all of baseball. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's do it. Anthony, I want you to give them a little bit of backstory on how you became one of the biggest designers in the game.
I've always had a passion for collecting sneakers and baseball. I started painting sneakers in 2017. I started out in my mom's kitchen. A couple of years later, my mom made me move to my bedroom, and over 6 years, I had the opportunity to paint thousands of pairs, work with thousands of Major League Baseball players. Over the course of now 9 total years, been able to move into an office space, starting to build a little bit of a business out of this passion.
So you've been at this for almost a decade at this point. Talk to me about what it was like at the beginning versus how it is now, dealing with the league, changes in design. Give me a little bit of the evolution.
Oh my God, it's completely different now. I remember when I first started, this was hardly a space. There's very few guys in any professional sports doing custom shoes. Ton of regulation on color schemes, how much of a specific team color you could have in the pair. Over the past decade, that has completely opened up basically in every major sport, at least in America, turned into an entire industry now.
All right, it's 2025 and now players can get whatever they want. Hit me with your top 5 cleats you ever made all time.
So many stories and projects that I could talk to you about today, but first one, I guess we'll start at the beginning of the journey. The first time I ever got to deliver a pair of cleats in person to a major leaguer was Dom Smith in 2017 for the first ever Players Weekend. I remember getting the call from his agent telling me that he wanted a half New York City, half Hollywood themed pair of Nike cleats. It was the first time that I ever really considered implementing 5, 6, 7 different elements into one pair of shoes. I've never had to work with like artistic composition before, kind of brand new into painting cleats, so obviously they don't look fantastic, but I was super proud of them when I made them. It was just a very creatively challenging but super fulfilling project, and I actually got to go to Citi Field and deliver the pair of cleats to Dom. He gifted me a signed bat. It was just an unbelievable experience, especially growing up as a Mets fan. I have traded sides since then, sorry.
You're gonna have a lot of comments about the trading sides thing. All right, what's next on the list?
In 2018, I got reached out to by New Balance. They were re-releasing the classic PF Flyer cleats. One of their sponsored athletes at the time was Taylor Motter, who was an outfielder on the Seattle Mariners, and we did a full Sandlot theme with all the characters, quotes, absolutely crazy. Those went viral, and it was fun to see that.
And what's next on your list?
In 2018, heartbroken to hear that David Wright was retiring, and the second that I saw him do the press conference, I remember being in college, and my brain just went into business mode, and I reached out to everybody in my phone book to get me in touch with David Wright's agent, and I actually ended up landing 2 pairs of cleats to do for his last game ever. He gave me complete freedom, what the cleats should look like with what he did for Team USA. Went with a Captain America theme on one shoe, New York Mets, New York City, bright, vibrant orange and blue on the other cleat. Actually got to go and bring those to him at Citi Field the day before his last game. He was just so gracious with his time, sitting down with me, talking to me for pretty much a half hour, when it was just an amazing moment.
I remember you telling me about that, and I think I was coming to your house for some reason.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I have the cleats. Like, I definitely did not try on the cleats before you painted them.
No, never.
No, wouldn't do that.
I didn't do it either.
No, for sure not. Yeah, that was definitely an emotional moment. Now this year, after 7 years, he's getting his number retired.
And of course, stay tuned for what's coming on his feet, that retirement ceremony.
Ooh, we got something cooking?
Always, brother.
Already? All right, what do you got next?
So you may remember this. In 2018, Baseball Lifestyle and me did a collaboration where we released 25 pairs of custom Adidas Ultra Boosts. The Adidas stripes had baseball seams on them, the Baseball Lifestyle logo on the heels. I think it said "It's a Lifestyle" on the other heel.
Sure did.
And the Ultra Boost at the time was like the model of sneaker to be wearing. And we sold them at a local sneaker shop and did like a whole release party. Then it was the first time that this hobby of painting shoes felt like an actual job and something that could be followed and pursued.
Last but not least, what's number 5 on the list?
The most recent of my favorite projects is Aaron Judge's World Series cleats that he broke out for games 4 and 5 at home. I've been working with him since his rookie year, either almost or over 200 pairs together, but his most recent pair, I think we hit it out of the park with the design, the theme. As you know, he wears the Jordan 1 low cleat, and the paneling on that cleat just allows for an infinite amount of creativity. Most of the cleat is covered in pinstripes, but as you get to the mid panel and the heel, the detail just gets crazy. A scenery of Yankee Stadium with like the taxi cabs going underneath, Statue of Liberty, the New York City skyline at night. Spent almost 40 hours on his pair.
Wow.
It's a little tiring, but it was well worth it to see him hit a home run in them in the World Series.
You mentioned that you've done over 200 pairs for him.
Yeah.
Do you know where he keeps them all and like what he does with them?
I have no idea. I do see a lot of them end up on Fanatics.
Okay.
So they end up selling for like $5,000 to $10,000 on Fanatics. We've done a few pairs for like the Lou Gehrig Foundation where they get auctioned off for charity, but most of them he just ends up wearing, hitting a bunch of home runs, signing, goes into some collector's basement. I wonder how many pairs he's kept. I hope he has a few of them in his house.
Get kids excited to come to the ballpark. What are the Yankees rocking? Lucia in Staten Island, man. He's been hooking me up big time with that.
All right, next up, we got a segment we're gonna call the Hot Corner. We're gonna hit you with a bunch of rapid fire questions. You gotta tell us your favorite this, the best that. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first up, who has the best overall cleat game in the MLB?
It's not even close, Fernando Tatis. You spend $500,000 on your cleats, you have the best cleat game in the league.
The best color swap?
Luis Severino had a City Connect pair theme, matched the pinstripes, the subway theme, absolutely perfect.
Most random concept that you were asked to make or have seen?
A couple years ago, Aaron Judge actually wanted a mashup concept of the pushing P emoji logo all over his cleats. Shout out Richie Palacios. Aaron actually pulled the inspiration from his pair, and then on top of it wanted a portrait of his dog.
Okay.
His dog's name, his dog's name is Penny, so the P, I get it.
He's pushing Penny.
Yeah, he's pushing Penny.
All right.
It was before he was pushing pennies. Now he's pushing
Big dollars.
millions of pennies.
Facts.
Billions of pennies.
All right, next up.
Trillions of pennies.
There's gotta be something we can make with that. Just
So
like,
many pennies.
Your dream client. Baseball, basketball, football.
Baseball, Bryce Harper. Basketball, LeBron James. Football, Pat Mahomes.
Most unexpected player to reach out to you for customs.
Steve Cohen, who I know is not a player, but in the world of baseball. Long story short, Chris DiStefano, who is a New York comic, was doing a private comedy show for Steve Cohen's birthday. He wanted to show up with a birthday gift. I will let Chrissy D explain the rest.
I did a comedy for Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets. I absolutely bombed. And then I went to go give him his birthday gift. It was a friend of mine made sneakers for him, and Steve didn't want them. I have the sneakers here, and I just want to shout them out. Bro, look at these kicks. Look at how beautiful these are with the Mets, even if you're not a Mets fan. Anthony DeLucia at Lucia Footwear. So go follow him on Instagram.
That is a wild story. It's hard to believe that actually did happen, but it also sounds like maybe the most embarrassing moment of Chris DiStefano's life.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about it either. I
Yeah.
mean, I spent like $400 just to get the shoes from my house to Chris's house in like 2 hours. 12 hours painting them. Very interesting experience. Thinking I'm doing something for Steve Cohen, and now they're just rotting away in a closet.
Hey, they looked great though.
Appreciate it.
Got you.
What can you do?
Yeah. What was the hardest concept to design?
Richie Palacios, we designed a pair of Richard Mill themed cleats. That design was next to impossible to conceptualize, build the proper stencils for, and actually paint.
We were there for filming the whole process of the cleat, and that took forever. Is there anything you'd love to do a custom paint job on, just in general, besides cleats and bats?
Sure, I would love to be able to work on a catcher's helmet. I'm not too good at painting the plastic. That would be really cool. And in that same line of painting like metal and plastic, I would love to paint a custom car. Also, I almost painted an FDNY fire truck. I don't know what that process looks like, but if I actually got to do that in the future, that'd be wild.
Was there like a theme for it that they wanted to do?
No, it was just some drunk dude on the FDNY baseball team was just like, go and paint my fire truck. And I was like, you got it, dude. Never came to fruition.
You gotta hit him up about that.
I gotta text him right now.
100%. My last thing for you, who are some players, what are some concepts you're excited to work on in 2025?
Anybody on the Yankees or Mets, Always love cooking with those guys. Gonna be a ton of fun working with everybody again. Sure, we'll do some dope designs. Cannot wait for spring training with Baseball Lifestyle. It was a ton of fun last year. Really cool being on the field, meeting with all current clients, new clients, just getting to know everybody, and not to look too forward into the future, but hopefully MLB does Players Weekend again, and that's when the designs and the money gets crazy. Can't wait for that.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got more content on the way coming very soon. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Oh, wait, before we go, if you guys watched all the way to the end, maybe you saw this little gumball machine pop up during the video, very briefly. Comment where the timestamp was that the gumball machine showed up, and we will give away our most recent collection to 3 lucky people. So go comment right now.